Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Shvesham Manamapi Shachiputram Atra Sarupam Shirupam Tasyagrajam Uripurim Maturim Gosavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramoho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Prakichakipaya Shri Gurum Tamritosmi Ajanulambita Bujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanai Kaptaro Kamalaya Tatso Vishvambaro Dvijabaro Yukadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. Here we have the most iconic landmark in Vrindavan. Haribol. One who has developed a relationship with Sri Vrindavan Dham, who sees this image of the Sri Radha Madanmohan Temple, has a gush of emotion coming to his or her heart, remembering Srila Sanatan Goswami and his establishing of the deity of Madan Mohan here. We've heard about how he received the deity and the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and worshipped him here very simply. Even Prabhupada mentions how he kept the deity in a tree, because Sanatan Goswami himself, having been a billionaire and a ruler over an entire state government, completely renounced everything to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to set an example for the world. He eschewed even living in a dwelling that was made of concrete or any other substantial material. He would sleep under a different tree every night. So when he received his deity, he kept the deity here in a tree and would worship him. And as Prabhupada explains the spontaneous way in which devotees who are very advanced worship the deity, he tells how he would speak to his deity, Madan Mohan, who asked him one day when Sanatan would bring him some roti that he had begged, and the deity said, "Could you maybe bring just a little salt?" And Sanatan Goswami's reply was, "Please, my lord, I'm doing the best I can out here. If you ask for salt, next thing you'll want ghee and a plate and all these things. I can't supply them. I'm living out here in the Vraj under a tree." But as always, Krishna knows the heart of his or her devotee. From time immemorial, he's been fulfilling the desires of every soul. This is a revelation that whatever situation I'm in, whatever predicament I'm in now, has come about by my own design. Because we're not dead stones. We're also responsible for our desires. And Krishna is simply fulfilling them, as he says in the Bhagavad Gita, to all human beings who have now come to the juncture where they can understand their responsibility. Yayata mam prapadyante tam stataiva vajamyaham mama vartmanavartante manusha partasarvasha. That whatever way that you approach me, I reward you accordingly. And some living entities have desired to be separate from the Lord, and therefore he is given 8,400,000 species of life for the soul to investigate, flying in the sky, swimming in the water, being so big as an elephant that you can step on anyone and you'll be squished, to see what it feels like to dabble with the material nature. But then Krishna says, Bahunam jamanamante jnanavam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabhaha. When one evolves in consciousness, one comes to a realization that my main interest in life is to surrender to God. And when that occurs to one, then Krishna gives the intelligence from within the heart. Tesham satati yuktanam bhajatim priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, when one sincerely inquires how to reach me, then I'll give intelligence from within the heart. And one may then develop a desire to associate with those who are devotees, to take sadhusanga. And even in sadhusanga, then one is encouraged to take up bhajana kriya, or a bona fide process. Because what else are we going to do? Everyone wakes up and does whatever he or she wants, or whatever they are obligated to do, because as the old bumper sticker says, I owe, so it's off to work I go. This is the obligation of every soul in this world, to work off their previous debt, otherwise known as karma. And so, if one doesn't take the bhajana kriya and make a stand that I'm going to do something every day for Krishna, then one's simply obligated like every other living being, including the ants and the aardvarks and the mongooses, and it's not mongooses, we looked it up, to work to find some food and to find some little house somewhere, and then try to maintain it and try to stay alive and try to take care of the kitties and so forth. But in bhajana kriya, then one may make advancement and come to a realization that there are many hindrances to my expansive love for Krishna. I can't, as my godbrother Bhubaneshwar used to say, I can't get no bhav. And we may feel hindered in our practice of devotional service. I have one foot in this world and one foot in the material world, still attracted. So what to do? And the answer is right here, this temple. This is the monument to the entryway into devotional service, as is the prayer given to us by Kaviraj Goswami. Jayatam surato pangor, mama manda matirgati mat sarvaswapadambo jau Radha Madanmohan. The entryway into devotional service, in which we have no more hindrances. It's not a matter of renunciation, but it's a matter of attraction. And that's the meaning of Madan Mohan. Madan means Cupid. Everybody wants to see a beautiful person and then fall in love here in this world. That's what every movie's about. If it doesn't have that part in the movie, everyone just, oh, that's a documentary, I'm not so interested. Every song ends up a sub-love song. The love pervades every corner of the world because the soul wants to love, period. But we now have love for the material world. So Madan is the pinnacle of attraction in this world. That's Cupid.
They just sang the verse.
Confirmed. And so Madan Mohan means the entryway into attraction, because Krishna is all attractive. And Madan Mohan means that he attracts even Cupid. Cupid is frustrated when he sees Krishna and says, oh, I can't compete with that. He becomes embarrassed. So what is the difficulty? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yesham tvantakatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva mohanir mukta bhajanti mam dradavrita. Where do we get that determination to come to the lotus feet of Madan Mohan and give our full heart? So there's some last remnants of attraction for the material world, despite the fact that we know that we want to worship Krishna. So in this verse, and as Prabhupada quoted it many times, there's a process for remaining aloof from the material world. The four regulative principles are there as a way to avoid pouring water on the fire that we're developing, the fire of love for Krishna as we're cultivating. So following four regulative principles, keeping oneself strictly in the mode of sattva gun. And from there, the Bhagavatam says, Partiva dharano dumas tasmad agnis trayi mayaha tamasastu rajas tasmat sattvam yad brahmadarshanam. If you can inch your way from tamas, a little step at a time. Isn't it hard to get out of tamas when you're in tamas? Because you don't know what to do. We're bewildered and we think, oh, all is lost and I'm in complete darkness. So 1 inch at a time, we have to find our way to rajas. And from rajas, 1 inch at a time, we have to find our way to sattva. And from sattva, sattvam yad brahmadarshanam. Then one can understand one's real interest in life and give an effort to reach Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. But still, you have this feeling, although I'm chanting, I'm following four regulative principles, I can't get no bhav. So that's where Madan Mohan comes. If we go to see Madan Mohan or be seen by Sri Sri Radha Madanmohan, and we present ourselves, I'm very fallen and lowly. Jayatam surato pangur, mama mandama. I'm slow at this. This is the prayer. I'm so slow. I can't do this. And I'm very poor. Mama manda matergati. What is my path? Please attract me. And if we can see the lotus eyes of the Lord and become attracted, then we move to the safe side. Means past anartha nivritti to a point of ruchi, where we're actually attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, 18 Thakur Gode Ake Karayachina Atmasat, 18 Aracharan Vamnum Tine Moranat. That's why these three lords are here in the process of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. They worship these three lords, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. So, the beginning stage, 18 Thakur, of these three Thakurs, is to approach Madan Mohan and worship his lotus feet and get an attraction. And what might happen? We have throughout the Bhagavatam the instances of those who are not attracted to the material world anymore, but they still were not attracted to Krishna. And Krishna mentions this in the Bhagavatam, that there may be a time when we're practicing devotional service, but we're still mired in material sense gratification. Jata Shraddha Makatasu Nirvina Sarvakarmasu Veda Dukat Makankamams Parityage Pyanishvara Tato Bhajeta Mam Prita Shraddha Lurjadanishchaya Jushamanam Shtatam Kamams Duko Darkams Jagaryam. Krishna says, I understand what you're going through. You have complete faith in the process of devotional service. Jata Shraddha, it's been awakened. Matkatasu, you know that just by hearing about me, then all things will be solved in your life. Shrinvatam Swakata Kṛṣṇa. And you also know the inconvenience of material sense gratification. Veda Dukat Makankamams, you know that it leads to misery. But Parityage Pyanishvara, you can't do it, because you still have a weakness of heart. He goes on to say, don't give up. You're within striking distance, because Madan Mohan is so attractive that he'll pull us out of the material world if we give a chance to dry out the wood, follow the four regulative principles, keep chanting Hare Krishna, keep going to Mangalarti, keep going to see the Lord, be seen by the Lord. And we find in the Bhagavatam, when the four Kumaras came to Vaikuntha, and there was a brouhaha, because there in Vaikuntha, the two doorkeepers had caused a kerfuffle. Stand your ground now. Stand your ground. Yeah. Don't look him in the eye either. Don't make friends and don't make enemies. Just be very neutral. That's what Prabhupada said. Back to the four Kumaras. They're there in Vaikuntha, but they're fully dedicated to the impersonal Brahman conception of life. And then the Lord gave them a great blessing. Does anybody remember what it was?
That you will come back to me soon.
Here, I'll give you a hint. I saved this just for this time in the lecture. That's right, Divyanam Prabhu said it. Kinjalaka Mishra Tulasī, Makaranda Vayu. So the famous verse for all of us, presented by all our acharyas. And when I was reading this verse on the way here on the rickshaw, Vijay Prabhu, who sat through all the Madhya Lila, he said, we heard that so many times when we read the Madhya Lila. Prabhupada quoted it constantly, so did Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Said, Tasyada Vinda Nayanasya. Tasyada Vinda Nayanasya. Padara Vinda. Kinjalka Mishra Tulasī, Makaranda Vayu. Says that there was some breeze in Vaikuntha, and it caught the Tulasī on the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Did you know he has Tulasī on his lotus feet? It is mixed with saffron. Antargata swavivarena chakara chesha means that scent of the Tulasī, it entered the nostrils of the four Kumaras. Antargata swavivarena chakara tesham shankshobham aksharam jusham api chitta tanvo. And what happened? There was an instant transformation. Because they had been dedicated to the impersonal conception of the Lord, but when they smelled the Tulasī leaves, mixed with saffron, coming from the lotus feet of Lord Narayan, suddenly everything changed. Apichitta tanvo, their bodies erupted in ecstasy, and their minds changed, and they thought, oh, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so beautiful. And that's what will happen for us. Without Krishna, Narada Muni says, Naishkarmyam Acyuta-bhāva varjitam nashobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. Doesn't matter how much yoga you practice, doesn't matter how detached you are, how mindful you are of the world, you may even achieve the point of equanimity. Has anybody here achieved complete equanimity? Even when the monkey jumps on your head? No problem. So even if you've achieved that state, it won't help you unless you have Acyuta-bhāva. You have to have that awakening that comes from Madan Mohan. It stimulates the heart. It could come from the scent of the Tulasī leaf mixed with saffron. It could come from that one last Kīrtan. And we've seen it before. One young devotee came to the New York Ratha-yātrā. Complete equilibrium in life, because he grew up in a devotee family. And in one Kīrtan, the devotees were jumping up off the ground, and then he started jumping off the ground. After that, he said, I'm in all the way. He changed, his heart changed. We know another devotee that came to Jagannāth Purī, and he saw the lotus eyes of Toṭā Gopināth, and he said, that's it. I'm convinced I'm in. Krishna touches our heart. Naishkarmyam Acyuta-bhāva varjitam nashobhate jnanam. Nothing else is enough in this world through any process except for bhakti, represented by Madan Mohan, and that's what this temple is. It's what we should build in our heart. And that is a monument in the heart that said, nothing else but Krishna. Only worshiping Krishna's lotus feet, chanting Hare Krishna, no other demigod, no other movie star, no other sports guy, unless you see them in relationship to Krishna. They have the 108 number on there. And when we have that experience of I'm attracted to Krishna and all I want is Krishna, doesn't matter externally how entangled we are, once that decision is there within the heart due to this transformation from Madan Mohan, then we're going back to Godhead. So we pray here at the lotus feet of Srila Sanatan Goswami, who gave us this opportunity to visit this most auspicious of all landmarks on the planet Earth, most important to all of us who are endeavoring to approach the lotus feet of Krishna. If you so desire, please attract our mind and heart to the lotus eyes, lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Madanmohan, and pluck us out of this ocean of material suffering so that we can serve you eternally in the spiritual world, dancing in ecstasy, and bringing millions of people with us from every town of the world, including Melbourne, Australia.
Spain.
Which city?
Barcelona.
Barcelona and all of Spain. Come on. Kent. London. You don't want to save your people at home? Cambridge. Pune, India. Where? Surrey? Surrey. Essex. 5 more quick, otherwise your people aren't going, huh? Bushy. 4 more. Rishikesh. Sharanagati. How about China? Japan. Bay Area. Everyone can go back to Godhead by the power of Shri Shri Radha Madanmohan. Only problem is nobody knows about it. So, dear Srila Sanatan Goswami, please instill in us our heart the intense desire to worship you, go back to Godhead, and forget everything else, except for bringing everybody else with us. Thank you very much for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in whole or in part, including the bystanders here today. Please say, Hare Krishna. Everybody's in. Hare Krishna. Vanchakoptavrishta kripa sindhaveva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.